Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sabrina. I post videos every Tuesday and Friday, and today's video is going to be a one brand tutorial using only Milani products. If you guys want to see how I got this look, make sure you keep on watching. So for eyes, I'm using this Milani eyeshadow palette. This is the number 5, just says 05. It's like this warm toned eyeshadow palette. It's got pretty oranges and stuff, so I'm excited to use this. And it comes with this brush, but I'm probably not going to use it. I was going to use Milani brushes, but they're a little pricey and I didn't want to wait for them to come in the mail, so I just went ahead and decided to use my own. So first I'm going to take this light brown in the color. It's the second shade in the palette, and I'm using a blending brush for this. A blending crease brush. I'm just tapping off the excess. Ooh, see that? Oh my god. They are very soft. There is a lot of kickback, but you know, that's fine. Like the Anastasia eyeshadows are like that too. Oh, these are pigmented. I'm focusing this right in my crease. Not putting a lot on the outer corner or inner corner, just more so in the middle and bringing it upwards. I'm honestly really surprised right now. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about their eyeshadows, but for some reason I've never gone out of my way to purchase any. Next, I'm going to take a skinnier crease brush. It's a little bit tapered at the top. I'm going to take the orange shade next to the brown we just used. And I'm going to focus this in the same spot, but really just focus it in the socket first and then diffuse it, so that the more vibrant part of the orange is in my crease. And I like this brush because it literally points it wherever you want to go. I really don't know what look I'm doing today. I never really know what look I'm really going for if it's a one brand tutorial. Then I'm just gonna mix the two colors and bring them down to my outer corner of my lid. I'm just tapping that on. I'm gonna go over that with the orange shade one more time. Just make sure there are no harsh lines. Then I'm gonna take a clean crease brush and just fluff it all over. Then I'm taking the Milani Fierce Foil Eye Shine. It looks like this. This is in the shade 03 Florence. It looks like this. It's got 4 shades in it, and I think I'm going to mix the gold and the mauve shimmer shades. Oh no, these are sticky. Oh my god. I don't know how I feel about these. They're really sticky, but they do swatch really, really nicely, if you can see that. This kind of reminds me of the Huda Beauty textured eyeshadows from her palette. Now I'm going to try to take the shade next to it, which is the more rose gold mauve color. Ooh, there we go. So this came off in more of like chunks, but I feel like that was the way to get it on with a brush. It's hard to get it on when you have such long nails and you do your finger. I think it looks okay. I really just need to smooth out the flakes. This is a lot harder than it looks. I hope it looks like it's hard on camera because it is honestly really difficult to get these little flakes to smooth out. If I don't smooth them out, they just fall off my lid, which I'm sure it'll show you guys in the video. So we're gonna move on to some eyeliner. This is the Milani Infinite Liquid Eyeliner. It says up to 24-hour wear. It looks like this. It's kind of a short tube. Pretty sure it's vinyl. I'm like 99% sure it's gonna have like a vinyl finish. Let me know if you guys want to see like an in-depth winged eyeliner tutorial. Just leave a comment down below, because I will definitely do that for you guys. So this is like a really like gel-like texture. Like like extremely gel-like. Oh my god, do you guys see that? Holy crap. It was like hanging off of the brush. Oh, I feel like this is gonna take forever to dry. Lord help me. I hope I didn't get like an expired one. I'm actually gonna take a liner brush. This is from Morphe. I'm just gonna try to make this a little bit more precise looking. Oh my god, what? Like a whole glop of eyeliner and like foiled shadow just came off. Okay, so that took way too long to dry. It took probably like 10 minutes, so I just turned the camera off and waited for it to dry. The wings ended up super huge. I'm sorry, sometimes that's just life. I know you guys know what I mean. Like my left one looked really good and then my right one was all fucked up, so I had to even them out. So now I'm gonna move on to mascara, and I'm using the Lash Trifecta Lengthens, Curls, and Separates mascara, and it's obviously from Milani. It looks like this. I think I would like this mascara if my lashes weren't already coated in this super jelly weird eyeliner. I don't have lashes from Milani. I don't think they make lashes at all actually, so I'm using the Marvelous Lashes. This is in the style Aslan? My lashes look like this. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on. Now that my eyes are done for now, I'm going to move on to the face, and for primer I'm using the Milani Prime Shield Face Primer. It says it is mattifying and pore minimizing. And for foundation, I'm using the one and only Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I'm using the shade 3, which is light beige. And I'm going to use this on a sponge because this foundation is really thick. So I don't want to put on more than I need to. This looks like my perfect shade. I used to use a shade darker than this. It was definitely too dark for me, like too orangey. I can probably use it closer in the summertime with the hopes that I'll actually get a tan this year. Next for concealer, I'm using the Milani Retouch and Erase Lifting Concealer. And this is in the shade 2. This is the lightest shade they had in stock. It's got this sponge applicator, which I don't really like. I'm honestly gonna pull it off. Oh, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Okay. It looks thick, but I heard a lot of bad reviews about this, so we shall see. So I'm going to use a little eyeshadow brush that came in the eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to drag that down my nose and spread it around. Honestly, not a bad concealer color. I would like it if it was like a shade lighter for concealing and highlighting, but I'd rather it be this than too dark. It honestly doesn't look that bad on my face. It did crease under my left eye, but not really my right eye. As far as coverage, I think it has a medium coverage. It did use quite a bit though, so maybe it has more of a light to medium coverage. Definitely not a full coverage concealer, so if you want a full coverage concealer, it's not one I recommend for you. It's definitely not a full coverage concealer, so if that's what you're into, I definitely do not recommend that for you. And to set my concealer, I'm going to use the Milani Prep Set and Go Translucent Face Powder. Looks like this. And I'm actually going to use the spoolie from the brow pencil to kind of make a loose powder out of this. You guys can't really see, but I literally just scratched it. You can do this with like eyeshadows, anything you want, and it will make it loose. Ta-da! I'm going to press that on. This really does make you matte. It does set everything pretty nicely from what I can see so far. And to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Milani Powder Foundation. It looks like it's adding coverage. I'm not really sure. I am slightly blind, so. And for bronzer, I'm going in with my Milani Bronzer XL All Over Glow. It's got 2 shades. I'm obviously going to use probably the lighter one. It is warm toned, which I do like. This actually reminds me of the Color Icon bronzer from Wet n Wild. It has like the same texture and it looks pretty similar in color. And for blush, you already know I'm using my Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. I'm taking a Real Techniques brush. This is my favorite blush brush right now. If you go a little heavy on the blush like I just did, you can just take your powder brush and kind of dust it away. It's getting a little too close to my mouth. Then I'm just going to take the orange shade from the eyeshadow palette and run that on my lower lash line. And I got a little bit too much eyeshadow under here, so I'm just cleaning that up with my sponge. To set my face, of course, I'm using my Milani Make It Last setting spray. And for highlighter, I'm actually going to use the first shade from the eyeshadow palette we were using earlier. I know they have highlighters, I just didn't see any at the store. And like I said, I didn't want to order any because I wanted to do this as soon as possible. I'm actually going to spray my brush so I can get a little bit more pigment. There we go. Not bad, not bad. And for lips, I have the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream. I have like probably 9 of these. I think I'm gonna do Devotion, which is just darker red, just so it stands out from the eyeshadow. They have a really, really strong fragrance. Most of Milani's products do, like the setting spray. All of these were our first impressions besides the lipstick, the foundation, and the setting spray. And I have to say the eyeliner I'm not a big fan of. I'm going to have to try it without the foiled eyeshadow. I think the foiled eyeshadow looked amazing, but not with eyeliner. I'm guessing I'm going to have to do those with just lashes. The eyeshadow palette though was amazing. These eyeshadows are so pigmented, definitely worth the money. If you guys were unsure about these, you should definitely go pick them up. This is honestly one of my favorite foundations. It is so full coverage. It's never broken me out. It doesn't really look cakey on my face. It could look cakey if you use a brush, so I do recommend using a sponge like I said earlier if you do want to use this foundation. And as for the concealer, honestly this was not a bad concealer. Like, it's pretty standard concealer. It did crease under my eyes a little bit, but I did cover it with the eyeshadow so you can't really tell. I actually think the primer did really, really good for my nose, because even if I put a mattifying primer, whatever primer I use to help my nose, foundation always comes off while I am applying foundation, and it just looks really spotty and weird, and my pores like show out like crazy. So this did really, really good. I'm actually really excited to use this more often. Overall, Milani is a great affordable brand. You can find them in CVS, Walmart, some Targets too. But for the price point that they are, a lot of this stuff is so equivalent or even better than a lot of high-end brands. So I definitely recommend this brand to you guys. Let me know what one brand tutorial from the drugstore you want me to do next. I'm thinking of doing NYX, so if you guys want to see that, give me a thumbs up so I know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.